So the two big heavyweights fighting it out, Wegovy and Mounjaro. But there may be a new contender to the title, but we'll talk about that in a bit. Now, for the past 4 months, or just over 4 months, I've been using Mounjaro on my weight loss journey, and if you've watched my other videos, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, something I've been considering in the last few weeks, or certainly since the price rises, shall I change and go to Wegovy? Now, the channel's called Man Does Mounjaro. I don't think Man Does Wegovy's got quite the same ring about it. But I'm going to delve a little bit deeper, see if I can work out which is the best option for me, for my weight loss and also financially. So what do we think is more important? Cost or effectiveness or side effects? Because both Wegovy and Mounjaro differ in all those aspects. Now, if I'm honest, I don't really know which is more important. I think the one that's more important to me at this time in my journey, bearing in mind I've lost over 60 pounds now, so I'm kind of nearing, I'm not nearing the end of my journey, I'm further along my journey than maybe you are. Now for me, I think the most important one would be cost. So I'm going to have a little delve into costs, and I'll stick something on the screen just to give you an idea of the difference in prices. Now we've had this massive 170% increase. So on Mounjaro, I'm currently taking 3.75 milligrams. Now that isn't an authorised dose, it's just what I decided to do. And again, if you've watched my videos, you'll know I didn't want to go up the doses too quick. So I literally did 4 weeks at 2.5 and I've been on 3.75 ever since, although I am considering going up to 5 milligrams fairly soon if, and that's a big if I stay on Mounjaro and don't switch over to Wegovy. My current supplier is a company in the UK called Zava. Well, I assume they're in the UK, they may not be, but it gets delivered from the UK anyway. As a returning customer, I can get a discounted price. It retails for £199 for a 5 milligrams and £249 for a 7.5 currently. And I can get the 5 milligrams, sorry, I'm just looking at my list, and I can get the 5 milligram for £179.99 now. And the 7.5 is going to cost me £229.99. So that's where we're at with Mounjaro currently in the UK price-wise. If, however, I decided to move over to Wegovy, we are looking at me. So let's assume I'm on 5 milligram Mounjaro. I would go to a 0.5 milligram Wegovy, and that's going to cost me currently £99.99. It retails for 119, but returning customers, I'll get that discount. If I decide to go up, the 1 milligram, I can get it for £129.99. So to summarise costs, I'm looking at approximately a £90 per month saving by going to Wegovy. But the story doesn't end there, does it? I would then need to weigh up cost versus effectiveness. So should we talk about the effectiveness? Have a look at some of the bits and bobs I found by researching the two topics. So in a clinical study, Wegovy, the effectiveness was 15% over the course of the treatment, of 15% weight loss that is, whereas the Mounjaro users lost 50% more than the Wegovy users. And they're saying that obesity by using Mounjaro has been reduced by 20% and just 14% in Wegovy. However, like I said earlier, I'm at a different stage in my journey, so I've probably lost the bulk of the weight that I need to lose, and I'm just sort of probably got another 1.5 stone to lose to get down to maintenance. So if I weigh up the cost versus the effectiveness, jury's still out, isn't it? The other consideration for weight loss medications is side effects. So that's a really important one. A lot of people, or many people, struggle with different side effects, and it's not just a uniform issue where I might get constipation, you may not, she might get headaches, I may not, you may get the old sulfur burps, I don't. So starting a new medication means possibly starting up a whole new world of side effects I've not experienced before, whereas I know that the Mounjaro, yeah, pretty good. I've sort of outlined them in my previous videos, and we're talking slight headache, don't get that anymore, and constipation, do get that. I'll pop a little list of side-by-side side effects on the screen, but it does say that there's a higher rate of nausea has been reported in Wegovy versus Mounjaro. So that was quite important to me, because having not had many side effects, the last thing I want to do is change the medication. And yeah, nausea, yeah, no thanks. I'm not good with that sort of stuff. Yeah, that's not for me. So they do say the side effects are higher, or the risk of side effects is higher, but they're all very similar: constipation, diarrhea, that sort of thing. So as it stands, my gut instinct, bit of a play on words there, my gut instinct is to stay on Mounjaro. Now, I did put a poll on my community post possibly a week or so ago now, and it was, yeah, obviously everybody's saying no, stay on Mounjaro. So my gut instinct is to do that and stay on Mounjaro. However, like I said earlier, coming soon to a pharmacy near you, there's a new contender to the heavyweight loss crown. Before we discuss the new title contender and the heavyweight battle of the world, if you could leave a like and subscribe, it would be absolutely amazing. And I'm going to be doing a Q&A session soon, so if you can leave all your questions down below in the comments, and I'll do a full video discussing anything you want to talk about. If you've got anything on your mind regarding Mounjaro, obviously, then yeah, leave a comment, and when I do the Q&A, I'll run through a few questions and hopefully give you a few answers as well. Right, let's get on with it. So our best friends at Eli Lilly, I say that with a hint of sarcasm, are trialling a new drug which is called orforglipron. Now, yeah, it is a bit of a mouthful, but we got used to saying Mounjaro, we got used to saying Wegovy. I'm sure we can get used to saying orforglipron. So this is going to be a weight loss pill, and so those of you that are worried about taking injections, or there's people with phobias of needles, that sort of thing, this potentially could be the one for you, and potentially the one for me. My last injection, which I took on Wednesday, is the first time I've come out with a rash on my belly. It's really itchy, and it lasted probably 2 to 3 days, and that's not happened to me before. So going forward, and they're talking either late this year, 2025, or early next year, 2026, before this gets released to those who are able to get a prescription for it. But stat-wise, this is what it's looking like. It's essentially looking like a 10 to 15% of body weight loss over 36 weeks. So if you weigh 100 kilos, you could potentially lose 10 to 15 kilos. So it's not as effective as Wegovy, and it's certainly nowhere near as effective as Mounjaro. It also works in a similar way, where it slows down how quickly you digest food. It reduces your appetite, so you eat less, and it helps you manage your blood sugar levels and reduce cravings for sweet foods and junk foods. So it's really looking like a really good option going forward. Obviously, we've no idea what this is going to cost. It's Eli Lilly, so I'll let you work that one out. It's probably not going to be cheap. I'd imagine they'll sort of market it in the midpoint. So I'd imagine the overheads are a lot less, not having to provide a mechanically engineered pen, glass parts, needles, and that sort of stuff. So my gut feeling, yeah, did it again, is it's going to be a little bit cheaper than the Mounjaro jabs or the Wegovy jabs. However, this is a 1 pill a day scenario. This is not 1 jab a week, leave it till the following week. This would be 1 pill per day. There's also another company in Denmark, and they're called Novo Nordisk, and they are developing their own pill, which is supposed to be similar to Wegovy, and I believe that's in clinical trials now too. So if you're looking to lose weight, and it just sounds weird, doesn't it? It really is exciting times, because your options, hopefully within the next sort of 12, 18 months, hopefully sooner, they're just going to absolutely explode, and you're going to have different options at different price points with different effectiveness. So if you are about to embark on this journey, or you are in the journey at the moment, as I am, it's exciting times, isn't it?